Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years.
Welcome to the Center for Creative Living, and I'm the Reverend Doti Boon. This has been a difficult week here in Northern California. We have people who have been evacuated due to the fires. We have people who are in the hospital because of the COVID virus, particularly our wonderful Reverend Ronnie Grigsby and his husband, Kevin Nicholson. We have political unrest that is bothering people and economic distress. I want you to know that here at CCL, as we fondly call the Center for Creative Living, we are supportive of you. But we can't help you unless you let us know what you're going through. We have a beautiful center that's air conditioned if you need to just get somewhere. We have people to talk to that are ministers that are excellent counselors. And we have a prayer group that is praying for each one of you, that you can be coming back to the place of being happy and being joyful once more. Of course, this is a difficult time, and we want you to feel that you're not alone. One of the saddest things is to be going through this feeling alone and depressed and possibly even abandoned. So call us at area code 408-392-9090. And if you get a recorded message, it'll give you my own personal phone that you can call me. Our dear, wonderful Reverend Dr. Ayleen Augustine is going to be giving a talk today. And that talk is going to be about what's going on with her. She has been evacuated from her home. She's a real life person suffering from what's happening. And yet she's taking her time and her energy to be able to talk to you, to help you through these difficult times. I want to thank you, all of you who have helped the center through your donation of time and energy and money. And now it's each one of you helping us that keeps the center going. Without you, we couldn't be successful and we couldn't thrive. And now you're going to be hearing a magnificent prayer for our wonderful Reverend Dr. Ayleen.
Well, hello everyone. This is Reverend Dr. Ayleen, and here we are together again for another wonderful service. And as many of you know, this has been kind of an unusual time for me. And I'd first off want you to know that I appreciate so much the love and prayers and support that I've gotten, and how many have reached out to me offering everything from items to a place to stay. So I want you to know that I'm safe. I am at a very, safe and sound place, Sam and Luna and I, here in Milpitas, in the home of my ex-mother-in-law. And it is so nice that, even if we are not joined by marriage anymore, we are joined by love. And they care about me, and I know all of you too, all of you do too. So this is sort of an unusual environment, and I'm using my cell phone. So, and it's hard to remember exactly where to look. So sorry if the visuals are off. And I know that's just me nitpicking, because I want to always be able to offer you guys my best. And right now I'm feeling kind of insecure. And I think it's at those times when we're feeling kind of insecure that it's even more important for us to be able to find comfort in prayer. And I've been doing a lot of praying lately. And one of the things I love most about Creator is that when I'm celebrating, I can feel them celebrating with me. And when I'm scared, I can feel this wonderful spiritual hug that happens. And I just hear this little whisper, it's okay, you're not alone. We can do this together. And it's just so wonderful to feel that I'm not alone. I don't know what's going to happen. At this point, it doesn't look good, but we don't know, and we probably won't know for at least a few more days. So, it's important to me that you all understand how grateful I am to you, and that I'm okay. That, well, I'm okay till I'm not. And I've had a few not very okay moments. And usually I'm able to be pulled back into my center by remembering that I'm loved. And so let's go into prayer and think of those times when you needed that spiritual hug and you needed to know you were going to be okay. And Creator found little ways to let you know or to help us out. Because Creator is there. Creator loves us and would never leave us, even in those worst times. So take a nice deep breath in and let it out. And as you exhale, let anything weighing on your body, your mind, or your spirit, just let them fall aside into that little imaginary basket, which is your care basket. Because in this moment, no matter how overwhelming they may seem, you don't need to hold on to them. Dear, wonderful, and glorious Creator, we thank you for this day and we thank you for our lives. We thank you for all the blessings you give in each and every moment and with each and every breath. We thank you for taking care of us. We thank you for holding us. We thank you for being with us when we celebrate and for being with us when we grieve and for being with us when we're scared. Creator, I want to thank you. First, for seeing me out of a very, very dangerous situation safely, for giving me the opportunity to help someone else reach safety as well. I thank you for the blessing of all of the years that I spent there and for the blessings that I received by being in that sweet place. I thank you for all of those who are fighting so hard to protect our homes and to save lives. And I ask your blessing on them and your protection on them, as well as on those who wait at home for them to come home, for their loved ones who must be very, very scared right now. Creator, I ask you to comfort them. I ask you to comfort all who had to uproot and run, and I know what that feels like now and how hard it can be and how it just shakes you inside. But Creator, I know you're there with me. I know that you show your love by surrounding me with all these people who care about me and love me, as you do with everyone. And thank you so much for all of the animals and the plants that transitioned because of this. And may their passing have been swift, painless, and without fear. Creator, I don't know what's written in the big book, as my mom used to say, but I do trust the author. I trust you. I believe in you. And I know that if you took all of us into this space, that you will lead us out safely, that you will teach us, and we will learn from this, and we will grow from this, and we will become stronger with this. Thank you for everything, Creator. Thank you for the blessing of all the people who are fighting on the front lines, whether it be the fire, whether it be the virus, or whether it be injustice. Creator, thank you for all those who are essential. Thank you for all of those who are fighting as our leaders to help people to be taken care of and protected and, just nurtured. Creator, thank you for the most precious gift of life that you have given us. And thank you for opportunities for us to really appreciate that, to appreciate the good you give us, because it's so easy to get caught up in what we don't have and what we want and what we feel our lives lack. And Creator, thank you for the opportunities for us to learn. Sometimes we have to realize just how precious everything we have is and just how lucky we are to have it. Thank you for all you give and all you are. And Creator, whatever it means to you, I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. For all your creation to the next 7 generations and beyond, Aho Matako Hisin, Ago, 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 by earth, sea, and sky. Namaste, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, blessed be. Amen. Well, hello everyone, and good morning. This is Reverend Dr. Ayleen Augustine, and I'm the president of the Universal Church of the Master, and it is my pleasure to be speaking to you today. And this has been a very interesting week. It's been a very challenging time, and as some of you know, I live in the mountains, in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And recently, after a thunder and lightning storm, many fires were sparked, and because of the dry conditions, they turned into wildfires. And it became a situation where it was no longer safe for me to be at my home. And so they evacuated a whole bunch of us. And there's Luna. It was important to me that I made sure that my animals were safe and with me. And so I consider it a tremendous blessing that, I was able to find them, because not everybody was. And it's scary and it's difficult to just let everything go and have to figure out, okay, well, this is what I'm taking, this is what I'm not taking. And, things are pretty drastic. And so, when you consider what is it out of your life that you would take, what would be the most important things? And it is really very, if you hear some munching, that's Luna having something to eat. It really is jarring to suddenly have to uproot and get in the car and drive away and not know if you're going to see that home again, if you're going to see those, those things that you had to leave behind. And if you live in the mountains, it's because you love it. And I could feel everybody around me. I could feel the frustration. I could feel the fear. I could feel the anger. And even now, as we try to get information, and really that information isn't available, or at least to the point where we would really love to have it. So, when things happen, we consider, okay, well, there's a lesson in this. That's something that I always like to default to. What is the lesson? What is it that I'm meant to learn? What is the thing that this is going to set into motion for me that I can be able to grow from? And part of it is that idea that, I'm in a strange place. I don't have my regular equipment. I'm taping this on my cell phone. And it really is hard. It's easy to get caught up in what has happened and make that the big thing, as opposed to what is it that I can learn from this? What is it that I can take away from this that will help me to be more? So we're going to explore a little bit of that today. And that's why I called this, that's why the idea is that life is an excellent teacher But the question is about how good of a student are we? Because a good student pays attention. A good student, I mean, for anybody who's ever been a teacher, I spent time as a teacher. And I do, well, I was an elementary school teacher, and, now I teach in a lot of different things and traditions. I teach my patients healthy habits, information about their bodies. I teach spirituality and indigenous traditions and a lot of different things. And even though I teach in a lot of different arenas, there are certain things that are consistent. What is a good student? And for those of you who've been teachers, kind of think to yourself, what is a good student? Well, one, they pay attention. They take a look at what it is you're trying to teach. And maybe the introduction is a little bit, it's kind of meant to pull you in a little bit. A good student will get pulled in. A good student isn't just going to be sitting there and, wondering when the lesson is going to be over, focusing on other things, maybe, texting under their desk or, doodling or something. A good student pays attention from the beginning of the lesson to the end of it. And that's an important part, because often at the beginning of the lesson, things are not so fun. Generally, we learn more about ourselves and about others through difficult situations than we do through easy ones. Because it's in difficult situations that people really show who they are. Their true face emerges. When everything's going great, everybody is, very clear on how they want to present themselves. But when a crisis comes up, that's when people become real. That's when you catch them off guard. That's when you catch them being themselves. So a good student pays attention and notices things. And another thing that a good student will do is appreciate that the lesson being taught, whether they understand it or not, or understand the relevance of what they're being taught in the moment, whether they get it, but they still value it. And that's a very, very important quality in a good student, that they can value the lesson even if they don't understand why it's important. So, what else makes a good student? Well, another thing that makes a good student is being prepared. Remembering the previous lessons, remembering all the lessons that added up. So they already have their foundation. They already understand. It's like, okay, they're adding this lesson to the top of what they already know. But they're already there, they're ready, and have that knowledge fresh in their minds as to what it is that, all the steps that led them to where they are now. It's like, learning to add, first you're going to add just a couple of numbers together, but you need to remember that and have that down before maybe you go into multiplying numbers. And then you need to have that down before you go into dividing numbers. So a good student comes ready with all of the knowledge that they came before, and they're ready to use it. Which goes into another quality of a good student, is that they have been using the things that they've learned. And I know a lot of people who, they go to classes and, it's like, oh, well, I took this class and I took this class and there's this and that. And then they never use it. And I mean, that's up to everyone. And maybe the use of what they learned, maybe it's still kind of being stored up. Maybe at some point later on they'll use it. But the idea that it is, there is that aspect of, using what you learn. Use it or lose it, because it's very easy to forget. When I work with people and it's like, okay, let's go over the basics. Let's talk about clearing. Let's talk about grounding. Let's talk about, connection. Let's talk about meditation. Let's talk about how you take care of yourself and how you take care of others. So the idea that if somebody has been taught things like how to clear and then they never use it, well, it gets rusty, when you need to be able to use these things. And it is really cool when you see a student who goes, oh, right, I've got it, because, and I remember this, and they may even bring up, it's like, oh yeah, I've been doing this particular thing and it really worked out well. And now I'm ready to go to that next level. And a good student always wants to go to the next level. A good student always understands that there is more to learn. A good student realizes that what they know is a part of the puzzle, but it's not the whole thing. They look for the big picture, and they're willing to invest the time that it takes in order to be able to get to that point and to go, oh wow, okay, well let's take this next step. And they may understand, this may take me years to perfect, but I will perfect it. And that tenacity is really amazing. It is something that teachers look for. We are very encouraged when somebody isn't asking about how fast they can do something or how fast they can learn something, that they understand, okay, this is a work, this is a process, and we're going to build on this process. So now let's talk about what makes a good teacher. Because, if I say that life experiences are a good teacher, I suppose I should substantiate that. And I should explain it. And as that is my position, I need to be able to clarify what I mean by that. So what does make a good teacher? And I know that plenty of you have had that experience of being good teachers, dealing with good teachers, and maybe dealing with some that were not so much. Number one for a good teacher is that they love what they're teaching, that they are so passionate about it and value it so much that they know that others will benefit from it. You must believe that someone will benefit from the lesson. Otherwise, why teach it? And life experiences are excellent at that. Now, I believe that all life has a consciousness. I believe that Creator is an aspect of all life. So therefore, it really is that Creator teaches us through our life experiences. And as we look at Creator, of course, Creator wants us to learn. Creator is passionate about what we're being taught because those are things that are going to help us move forward, because that is what I believe Creator wants. So life becomes the vehicle for us. In a way, life is teaching, but what it's teaching came from the University of Creator. So, good teachers, great teachers, are also those who are willing to sometimes get a bit tough because they know that the lesson is worth it. They know that the lesson is worthwhile. And life can be kind of tough. The universe can be kind of tough sometimes. My saying is, life is fun until it isn't, and it sucks until it doesn't. But the thing is that the part that sucks is usually where I must admit I learn the most. This process that I'm in, it is hard and it sucks. Honestly, this weighs so heavy on my heart. And there are times when I just rail against it. And, it's like, hey, you know what? This is not okay. And someone asked me today, well, do you ever get depressed? Do you ever get disappointed? Do you ever get frustrated? Yeah, I do. And at those times, I have to be really honest with myself. At those times, no, I don't want to be grateful in that moment, because what I need to be is authentic. I need to be real. Life pushes us to be real. Life pushes us to stretch our boundaries, because sometimes life can give us things, the universe can give us things that we don't know we can bear. But life, once again, being the vehicle for ultimately Creator's wisdom that is being given to us, Sometimes it has to be hard. Sometimes it has to be rough. And sometimes it has to be painful. But the thing is, even if when we start off, we don't think we're strong enough, the consciousness of the universe knows that we are. And that's the thing about being a great teacher, is you have to believe in your students. You have to believe that they are capable of being so much more. You have to believe that they can reach things that they don't believe that they can. And I believe the universe believes that of us. I believe Creator believes that of us. And that is why through life, we are given so many opportunities to grow, and so many opportunities to be challenged, and so many opportunities to find out that we were way stronger than we ever thought we could be. And that is important. That is vital for us to be able to step into our own power. Because a great teacher wants their students to step into their own power. A great teacher wants their students to achieve as much as they possibly can achieve. For my students, I don't want them to follow me chapter and verse. I want them to use the basics of what I share with them to write their own book. I want them to step up into their own power. I want them to realize that they may have something inside of them that far exceeds whatever it is that I do. And I would love for them to believe that and explore that and find that. They can be more. We can all be more. And the universe believes in us enough to say, you know what? I understand that this is hard. I understand that this is really very scary for you. And I'm sorry you're scared. The thing is, do you trust me? Because if you trust me, you'll know that when this is all over, you will realize that you are so much more. You will have so much more. Your tools will be that much more effective. Each thing that challenges us makes us stronger. It makes us better. And for those who want to, have the easy route, well, yeah, there are ways to do things easy, but do you get as much out of it? Life every single day teaches us what it is that we can do. Because we have free choice, because we are able to decide which path we want to walk down. And sometimes there's a lot of possibilities. And sometimes it would just be easy to be given a message that says, okay, this is what you're supposed to do, head on, and that's your path, and that's what you have to do. Okay, I guess for some, if they don't want to choose, if they want to be directed that much, but a really great teacher will figure out how to encourage a student to take a risk, to take a leap of faith, to move forward and step up into their own destiny. I don't believe that life is about trying to beat us down. I don't believe Creator is about trying to beat us down. Yes, hard things happen. Very, very, very hard things happen. And we usually have the choice of either dealing with it, facing it, or we hide from it. We run away from it. We avoid it. Usually that means that life lesson is going to come right back around because, again, a good teacher always knows when you need to repeat a lesson so that you can get it down. It's like, well, they didn't get it that time. They didn't realize how amazing they are that time. So I guess I'm going to have to cycle this sucker back around. And it comes back around. And oh God, and people's like, why is this always happening to me? It's like, well, maybe you're not learning from it. Maybe there are different choices you can make, and one of those choices is to stop trying to avoid it and say, you know what? This is a thing and we're doing it. We're not going to avoid it. We're not going to back out. I'm going to trust that a loving creator is looking out for me. And if this has been brought to me, it's been brought for a reason that is going to help me. Yes, I would be heartbroken if my home were gone. And I know that, I would have a lot of decisions to make at that point. And because I really tried to be a very good student, I know I need to have practiced all the things that I've learned, all the things about my grounding, all the things about having faith, all the things about taking a step back, taking a breath, not focusing on my fear, but focusing on what it is that I want to achieve, what is possible for me. And it is amazing when we remember our connection. We remember our connection to our communities, to each other, to God, to everything, to the universe, to creation itself. Because when we remember that, suddenly things get less scary. We start seeing that bigger picture again. We start thinking, okay, this one loss, which is huge right now, this may lead me to something that is amazing. At one point, I lost a house. And I thought that was just, there was nothing good that could come from that. But it was by losing that house and understanding what my relationship with it was, that I didn't love it. All I saw were its faults. It was a burden to me. And I fought to keep it when deep down I didn't want it. And the house knew that. I believe everything has spirit, and the house knew that. And when I released it and opened myself up to possibility, when I said, okay, first I want to thank you, house. I thanked the house for all it did, for how it housed our family for 3 generations. And I promised it that a new family would come in who would love it, who would take care of it, and would see it in a way that I couldn't see it anymore, because our spiritual contract was done. So when I opened up for that, when I remembered that lesson and remembered, okay, let me accept what it is that could be good that came from this. And that was how I ended up with my cabin in the woods next to a river, the home I've always wanted and that I love. Now, flash forward 7 years, because Labor Day weekend, it'll be 7 years that I've been there. Now there's a possibility that I won't have that home anymore. And as much as it pains me to have that be a reality, and for that to, just hurt. But a good teacher can't be so afraid for their students to hurt that they prevent them from growing. I believe that life doesn't want us to hurt, and it isn't willing to have us be comfortable if that means that we're not going to move forward. I don't believe Creator works that way. I believe Creator, through life, demonstrates that we can be more, that we can trust ourselves, that we can step up, that we can survive. It may not be going great, but we can still survive. And then, after we know how to survive, we thrive. But we can't do that if we put aside all these life lessons that we learn and we don't get it in our heads that this is a piece of something important. In the process of this and in working through and identifying my grief, identifying those places of hurt, identifying the part that's not fair, and the part of me, that little girl inside of me, that is stomping her foot saying, this isn't fair. It was mine. I worked for it. I earned it. It was given to me. And I have to look at that little one and say, well, I know, sweetie. And I know that if things go wrong, we're going to have to say goodbye to it. But know that we're going to be okay. If this ends, another opportunity is going to come forward. Another wonderful thing is going to happen. And we will trust in that it's going to be okay, that it's going to be all right, that we're going to be all right, that we will be strong because we are strong. We will be adaptable because that's what we are. And we're going to learn new ways to do that. So by embracing the idea that everything is a lesson, that our teacher loves us and wants nothing but the best for us, and that sometimes life is fun and then it sucks until it doesn't. But the things that suck are going to teach us. They're going to help us grow. They're going to help us expand. Everything has light and shadow. So we learn not to fight our teachers. We learn not to resist the lesson. Look for the lesson. Trust the teacher. Because you may find at some point that you're a teacher and your student doesn't understand the lesson you're trying to teach or the value of it, or even, well, why are you bothering with that? I don't want to learn that. I want to learn this. And you tell them, but you're going to understand it later. This will be important. This is a foundation. I think life does that with us a lot. Trusting that we can get the lesson. Which is why I believe that life is a great teacher. And we have to understand that it's our job to be good students. It's not just up to the teacher. If we're going to get the most out of the lesson, we need to be good at wanting to learn it. So thank you for joining me. And I wish all of you blessings, that your lessons be gentle, and that those that are not be as gentle as possible. Be blessed and take care, everyone.
In this moment, every moment, we live moments here and now. In this dreaming, every dreaming, we live our dreaming here and now. Flowing in the river of my soul, in the river of my soul. Flowing in the river of my soul, flowing, it's helping me to grow. Ooh, helping me to be. Oh, if I could learn from my history, if I could open up my heart to the mystery, will I learn this meaningful lesson now? Can I hope to be the magic in my days again? Oh, how flowing in the river, flowing in the river of my soul. Oh, flowing in the river makes me grow. And flowing in the river, flowing in the river of my soul. Oh, it helps me to take a stand, helps me to become whole. Look around, be people are dying. Look around, a resurrection of faith. Look around, we are finding our footing. We no longer have to wait. We no longer have to wait. Flowing in the river, flowing in the river of my soul. Oh, flowing in the river helps me to grow. Oh, river of my life, river of my hope, help me to be whole. I am flowing in the river of my soul. Slow down, turn around, gaze at the young one of your past. Slow down, turn around, seek the truth beneath the mask. Oh, flowing in the river, flowing in the river of my soul. Oh, flowing in the river helps me to grow. Flowing in the river, flowing in the river of my soul. Oh, flowing in the river helps me to be whole. Help me to be whole. May I sit at the feet of my experience. May I listen to the wisdom of the ancients. And may I know the power of transcendence. Flowing in the river, flowing in the river of my soul. Oh, flowing in the river helps me to grow. Oh, flowing in the river of my soul. And we, my friends, can flow in the river, can reclaim the lessons that life has brought us. Just allow yourself to be in that river of flowing and feeling, loving and healing. Flowing in the river, flowing in the river of my soul. Oh, we're flowing in the river, helping us to grow. We are flowing in the river of our soul. We are joining in the river. We are being made whole. To our wonderful Reverend Dr. Ayleen. From the root of your source, you shine radiant, radiant with the healing force. Oh, keep the eagle's vision, walk the wisdom way. We bring joyous tidings on this your special day, on this your special day. From the root of your source, you shine radiant, radiant, radiant with the healing force. And we bring joyous tidings, tidings on your special day. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ayleen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ayleen. Happy birthday to you. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Yay! Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candle, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your heart wherever you go. We love you.
Thank you for joining us for this celebration of faith and fellowship. We'll be back next Sunday. And for those of you, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can leave them in the comments section. If you appreciate this video and the work that the Center for Creative Living is doing, please press like on the video. You can share the video, and also please subscribe, because that will help this community and the church grow. Remember, in these difficult and challenging times, the opportunity to give and support an organization that has done so much for the community is tremendously important. Please help the Center for Creative Living continue in the wonderful work that it does. We will make it through this. We will be stronger for it. Our faith will carry us. Be blessed, be safe, and have a wonderful week.